dignitaries of the dais, from SMBC and all the respected members from the press and my other friends who are present here in this hall. A very good afternoon to all of you. I am privileged to be a part of this interaction which has been arranged and organized by Press Information Bureau today. And it is very topical, it is a very pertinent topic for the ongoing activities of the banking sector and the government of India regarding the financial inclusion initiatives which are being taken. And Reddy ji ने कुछ अपने एड्रेस में ऑलरेडी पॉइंट्स अपने फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन को लेके दिए गए हैं रिसेंट पास्ट में और पहले एक्चुअली अगर हम समझे फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन जो है इट इज काइंड ऑफ ए वेरी नोबल ऑब्जेक्टिव इन द सेंस कि the idea is कि nobody should be left behind for want of being able to get the facilities mainly from the banking sector and from the government so that he can live a life with comfort, assurance and dignity. In fact, financial inclusion essentially means universal access to the banking facilities which are affordable, which are appropriate and which are available in timely manner. There should not be any time there for getting the financial services or financial requirements. And the financial inclusion is related to providing a range of services which cover starting from having safely, savings, and then when you need, you can get credit or loans as per your requirements that is available from the financial system. Then you are able to make remittances. If your family is at one place, you are working at some other place, and you want to send some money to the family members, we know at one point of time during when the post offices were the main network and the system of money order was in practice, and it used to take some lot of time. Somebody has sent the money, it will reach there, then you will get some message. After 15-20 days, they will get some money in hand. This is one aspect, and then another aspect is about providing them assurance of continuous assured flow of funds in the form of pension, so and investment opportunities. So these are broad kind of range of services which are expected from the financial system for the people whom we are targeting to reach and connect through the financial services. If we see from historical background, the financial inclusion efforts have been a long history. They have a long history. It is a long canvas. It can be traced back to setting up of agricultural cooperative societies, which were formed in 1904, in order to provide loans to the farmers in those years, in those times when they were in the grip of money lenders. तो अभी मेरे सामने जैसे थोड़ा डिस्कस किया कि जो अगर एक वेंडर है, स्मॉल वेंडर है, he needs some loan, he gets 1,000 rupees, out of which in the morning itself the Saukar will take a cut of 100 rupees and he will get 900 rupees, do his activities during the day, and at the end of the day he has to return 1,000 rupees. So that is the kind of, see, imagine 10% is the rate of interest for a day. That is the situation, and they are able to survive in that kind of situation. So to bring them out of those kind of usurious interest rate situations, formal banking sector has reached out to provide the banking facilities and credit facilities to the different sections of the society at very nominal rates and on time and on their easy to access. So another goal in this inclusion context is Government of India is initiating at one point of time when the banks nationalization was taken up. Previously the banks were set up by business houses and they used to accept deposits, and then the credit was available for some specific purposes, for some big industrial houses or some specific activities. considering the bottleneck and to reach out to the people who are not in the need of credit but they are not getting credit, the government of India have taken the initiative of nationalization of banks. And when the nationalization of banks came, then it was made compulsory or mandatory for the banks to make credit available for particular sectors and particular activities. Then in the same week, Reserve Bank of India came out with the norms of priority sector lending. They started specifying what is the priority sector, what are the sectors in the economy where credit should go, it should be directed credit, and the banks are now prescribed. They have to achieve the target of lending to this particular sector across the economy to the extent of 40% in overall priority sector, 18% for agriculture, and like that there are some targets also. So banks are required to achieve those targets and provide target credit for that kind of priority sector identified and prescribed by Reserve Bank of India. Similarly, Reserve Bank of India then devised the scheme of lead bank. So lead banks were designated at state level, then district level, and local levels, and they were assigned the priority of meeting the requirement of credit at the ground level through this network of lead bank scheme. And the banks were required to report this information to the SLBC, and it is collected at the state level, and then it is presented in the form where bankers are present and the government officials are also present, and the field functionaries are also present, just to understand what are the priorities, what are the areas in which credit is flowing, and which are the areas that there are certain bottlenecks. Bottlenecks could be in the form of infrastructure availability, and then the support of government is solicited to address those bottlenecks, so that those bottlenecks are cleared and it is easier for banks to extend credit for those particular sectors and segments. In the same league, then I would say NABARD was formed in 1982. Previously, it was part of Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank of India, when NABARD was formed, it was formed solely with the objective of having focus, attention for agriculture and rural development sectors. Previously, it was being looked after by Reserve Bank as one of their organic departments itself. And NABARD was formed and NABARD was set up with this objective in 82. And then NABARD took a lot of initiatives in the area of agriculture, rural development, and the range of services which NABARD renders includes: one is providing refinance facilities to the banks for agriculture and rural development credit, which they have extended to the respective areas of operations. Then second area is our direct financing, where we extend credit to the state governments for prioritized rural infrastructure development projects. So rural infrastructure development projects are identified by the respective state governments, and then these projects are supported through the concessional rate of interest, which is provided by NABARD for these projects. And when the infrastructure like roads and bridges and irrigation and electricity and health facilities, education facilities are available at the village level, the people become more and more aware, and then they start using the financial facilities and banking facilities, and they start undertaking certain enterprises which add to their income, and then the bank credit requirement for the people at the ground level increases, and as a result the banks are extending credit after consequent upon more credit, consequent upon the kind of infrastructure which is created with the support of NABARD at the grassroots level. In addition to this infrastructure development financing, NABARD also undertakes the supervision of cooperative banks and digital rural banks. And then apart from this, NABARD also undertakes the developmental projects and initiatives through its own internal resources and certain lines of credit and facilities which are available with the support of Government of India and the Reserve Bank of India. So I would like to make a little bit mention about today's context, particularly about the financial inclusion. there is a fund of 500 crores which was set up in NABARD, named as Financial Inclusion Fund, and that fund is managed and operated by NABARD. And NABARD undertakes specific activities out of this Financial Inclusion Fund. I would like to make a mention about this. Financial Inclusion Fund is used for financial literacy initiatives. First of all, financial inclusion starts with making the people at the ground level aware about the banking facilities and credit facilities and what they can do, what benefits they find after having a bank account. So that kind of awareness building initiatives are supported by NABARD through Financial Inclusion Fund. In this case, for financial literacy initiatives, we support demonstration vans which create awareness to the people at the ground level. Then there are certain handheld projectors which go to the interiors and demonstrate these schemes of government through projectors. Then kiosks, financial kiosks, and through nuclear narcotics street plays. These are supported by NABARD through financial literacy initiatives. Then during these initiatives and programs, there is special initiative and special focus on schemes of Government of India like PMJDY, where Prime Minister Jeevan Sureksha Yojana, Prime Minister Sureksha Bima Yojana, Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, and Atal Pension Yojana. These are the initiatives of Government of India to make the people assured about the different kind of risk. Small contribution of small minor contributions from their savings account and get the benefit of insurance and pensions. Similarly, with the Financial Inclusion Fund, it is used also for conducting the camps at the ground level through financial literacy centers, where frequently specific targeted interactions are had by the bank people and the retired officials of the bank who create awareness about the government schemes, bank schemes, credit facilities available, and other schemes where some kind of benefits or subsidies are available to the beneficiaries at the ground level. Similarly, out of this Financial Inclusion Fund, micro ATMs are supported. Most machines banks can purchase and provide it to the different vendors, and they can swipe the cards. The customer can swipe the card at their points and they avail the facilities through digital transactions. Similarly, create the facility of at the interior level. Sometimes internet facility is not available, sometimes power supply is not available at the branch level in the village areas. So for that purpose, out of the financial inclusion funds, expenditure related to solar panels, UPS, VSET, SDRAM is also supported for installation of these facilities, and so that they can have continuous power supply and then internet is available, and then they can provide network networking facilities to their customers, and online facilities can be extended to the customers. Financial inclusion funds, there are certain initiatives taken by NABARD directly also. One of the initiatives, very old initiatives taken by NABARD is pertaining to self-help groups. The concept of self-help groups in India, NABARD took the initiative and it started in 1992, and gradually it was found that self-help group is a very novel concept of extending credit to the people at the ground level. Individually, if a person requires a loan of say 1,000 rupees, banks do not find it viable to extend a credit of 1,000 rupees to an individual, and he may be requiring it not for doing some economic activity, he may be in need of this type of credit for very informal kind of needs. Still, he has to attend some function in his family and he needs some 1,000 rupees as a consumption expenditure. So bank will not give the loan for that kind of expenditure. Similarly, if some small expenditure required for some medical treatment, so bank will not give credit to a customer in some small dose of 1,000 rupees or like that to an individual borrower. So the concept of self-help groups has evolved. In this case, self-help group of a group of about 10 people come together and they, as a group, avail the loan from the bank. So bank is giving a loan of say some 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees, and the group members individually can take the loan from the group in the form of 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees nominal. Whenever they require, they can take. Whenever they want, they can return. And that flexibility is available between the group and the individual member. So that kind of flexibility was provided in this form of lending, and banks were able to save the cost in monitoring such type of small transactions. So eventually this helped a lot, and the repayment habit of this type of small loans was also very encouraging. Self-help groups recorded repayment of 99%. So 99% of the people were repaying the loan regularly. So that was the kind of win-win situation for the individual borrower also and for the banks also. So that concept gradually has evolved and reached a grand scale. If I talk of today's situation, there are more than 10 lakhs SHGs in West Bengal, and they are availing credit to the extent of 30,000 crores as of today. Then next to this self-help group, there is the concept of joint liability groups. This joint liability group mechanism was also involved for providing credit to the needy farmers when individually they would have requirement of a investment activity, but together if they come, say 4 farmers together, they want to have a people. If one farmer is having a small land holding of 1 acre, 1.5 acre, so having a people for individually is not a viable proposition. So if 4 farmers, 5 farmers come together their land holding becomes 5-6 acres or 7 acres, and then jointly they take a borewell and invest together, and together they use that borewell for irrigation purposes. Together, as a group, they repay the loan taken from the bank. In this form, the loan is extended by the banks to the customers. So this model is called joint liability group of lending. This model of lending is also very popular now, and here in West Bengal, more than 3 crore JLGs are operational, functional, who are taking credit from the banking system. Just inform the house. Presently, there are 180 centers for financial literacy which are operational, which are supported by NABARD, which are operational in the state of West Bengal, and these financial literacy centers are supported by Reserve Bank of India also and by NABARD also. Reserve Bank of India is supporting the financial literacy centers through a fund which is called the DEF fund, DEF fund, Depositors Education and Awareness Fund. It is available with Reserve Bank of India, and out of those funds, these financial literacy centers are being set up, and NABARD is supporting the financial literacy centers from the financial inclusion fund. So 60 such CFLs are being supported by NABARD out of FIF. In all, we are covering 21 districts in the state of West Bengal. 173 blocks are being covered, and 5 banks are sponsoring these CFLs: Central Bank of India, State Bank of India, UCO Bank, Indian Bank, and Punjab National Bank. They are associated in keeping these centers operational at their respective levels. Here, capital expenditure support is provided in the form of creating some infrastructure, providing some computer connection and table, chair and all. And then operational expenditure for the staff who is posted there in the center for giving the information to the customers, they are supported. So about 17.6 crore rupees bank has given, NABARD has given in the state of West Bengal for supporting the centers for financial literacy so far. So these are certain developments which are being supported by NABARD. And now I would just also like to narrate something which is unfolding. जो रेड्डी साहब ने आपसे डिस्कस किया, थोड़ा बताया था किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड. Now किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड is a credit card provided to a farmer based on his land holding and his cropping pattern and his requirement. So he can go to the bank and he is sanctioned a limit. He can anytime draw the funds from his bank against this credit card, and he can repay it during the period of 1 year. The limit of time is 1 year. During this 1 year, he can draw as many times as he required up to a limit, and he can keep on repaying it as per his funds flow and repay the loan to the bank. Now, in order to simplify this mechanism of KCC further, Reserve Bank of India has come out with Unified Lending Interface (ULI). There is one UPI everybody is using these days. On the same pattern, there is a ULI, Unified Lending Interface, which is presently in the rollout phase. It has been devised and it is proposed to be rolled out. And under this initiative of ULI, NABARD has taken the initiative of converting this KCC to e-KCC, that is electronic KCC. Electronic KCC, it will be like there is a kind of background in which the information about the customer is available with the bank, which relates to his land holding, which relates to his cropping pattern, which relates to his financial requirements, and he can go to a particular bank or go to any credit society, primary agriculture cooperative society. He can go to any of these institutions, and with his account he can get this e-KCC activated. Once these, based on these parameters, and the government's land records are also digitized, so whatever the farmer is declaring, what is his land holding, it can be verified digitally from the bank premises itself on the computer, whether the data indicated by the farmer is correct or not. Nobody has to go anywhere, no certificate is required, no customer has to go to any outside office. He has to give his application, he has to give his details, and the verification can be done online. So that land records are digitized, so land record verification is also digital in the e-KCC platform. And after this verification, the bank will be able to sanction the loan. Depending on these cropping patterns, there is a scale of finance also, which is decided by the government and NABARD and banking primarily licensed together. What are the kind of particular crops to be sown in this area, and what are their unit costs? Based on that, the scale of finance details will be also available online, and the limit to which the farmer can avail the credit will be sanctioned online itself. So that is e-KCC, and electronically he can have the transactions, avail the funds, and he can return the funds, and when the funds are fully repaid, so that credit history will be also cleared, and his credit history will be developing gradually, and the CIBIL score and other things will be also available for the other transactions. So this is the initiative which is being implemented now, and it is likely to increase the convenience of the farmer and also speed at which his requirements can be met, and the convenience also. So these are certain broad initiatives NABARD has taken, and I am sure this kind of initiative which PIB has taken is very meaningful at the moment. Reserve Bank of India is putting lot of trust on financial inclusion. You might have seen in different programs of कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, जिसमें अमिताभ बच्चन बीच के ब्रेक्स में जानकारी देते हैं. इसमें रिजर्व बैंक कहते हैं जानकार बनिए, जागरूक बनिए, जानकार बनिए. These advertisements are being given at the initiative of Reserve Bank of India. It creates that awareness कि what is the significance of OTP, what is the significance of net banking, what is the significance of credit card, what is the significance of debit card, and all those things. So every step is towards financial inclusion, and I am sure we can achieve. meeting the requirements of all those who are in need of funds, and